The next real hallmark, in my judgment, of the life of the Southside Club occurred in 1877. And I pick 1877 because that was the year that a young heir inherited a lot of money and came and decided to be a neighbor. And he called his place Idle Hour, and his name was William K. Vanderbilt. And when William K. Vanderbilt decided, having just been married, that he wanted to establish a country home, a real European-style country home, he chose the property that we now know as Idle Hour and all that. Over 1,000 acres he bought. And he built a summer cottage. He called it a cottage. But he occupied it from time to time, not a lot of the time. But the effect he had on this community was that this is like Keeping Up with the Joneses, all these friends of Willie Vanderbilt's wanted to be in Islip. And they wanted to join the Southside Club. The Southside Club immediately took Willie Vanderbilt in the second he was here. And his broker came. Two of his brokers came. One was Harry Hollins, one was William Breeze. And I'm going to tell you a story about those two brokers in a little while. Harry Hollins bought all kinds of open property in East Islip, Meadow Farm. You just can't visualize it today because there's so many houses there, but south of South Country Road in Meadow Farm was Harry Hollins's 300 or 400 acres. William Breeze bought what's now Point of Woods. Timber Point. The whole area where the Timber Point Golf Club is, plus the golf club house, it's been restored and fixed over a few times, was bought by William Breeze. So people started buying large tracts of land, and this began to boomerang. This had the makings of a bubble. And from 1877 to about the turn of the century, this part of the world became one of the most socially prominent places to be located in. Well, think the effect that this had on the Southside Club. I mean, 100 members. It was probably 500 people wanted to get in. I can't tell you what they did with the dues, but it assured the success of this club for well into the 20th century when these men came. So someone was asking me the other day to talk to us a little bit more about Willie K. Vanderbilt, so I'll tell you a couple of stories about him, and I hope this doesn't get us too far off the track. But it was extraordinary as a young man, when his grandfather died, which was in 1877, he and his brother, there was 4 sons and 4 daughters in that family, the family of his parents. Each of the 4 daughters inherited $10 million. The 2 younger sons each inherited $10 million. And the older 2 sons got all the rest. And all the rest was close to $100 million. A state of, in that day and age, $200 million estate in 1877 might be worth today more than all the oil that's come out over the Gulf. I mean, it would be worth in the billions today. Willie Vanderbilt spent money like it was just, nickel or dime. He built himself 10 houses around the world. Idle Hour was only one of 10. He had one in Newport, he had one in France, he had a whole stable of racehorses. His wife was anxious for their daughter, Consuelo, to marry a British lord, so they arranged it so the Duke of Marlborough would marry Consuelo, which he did, and the endowment was $25 million. So the money was going out. When he died in 1920, you'd think he might have been broke. Do you know that when he died in 1920, he had more money than when he started in 1877? Because all these railroads in the United States were pouring dividends into the Vanderbilt coffers. Member of the Southside Club, William K. Vanderbilt. I don't think he'd mind my telling that story. He was rather proud of all these houses he built. But most people were not like that.